So this is such a rookie mistake that I've done so many times. Keep your camera ready, the settings dialed in.
And over the years, I mastered a few street skills that I want to share with you today. So it's an ongoing process for most of us where we have to go out on the streets and practice. This is going to be a practical guide where you can pick and choose whatever works for you. Let's get into it. A great way to master street skills and to challenge yourself is to go back to a familiar area, re-explore it. So the idea behind this tip is to go back to a location where you have been to before, but not for a while. Try to go back and come up with photos that you already previously taken, but with a fresh perspective, different angle. It's actually a bit more difficult than you might think to go back, and because you've already been there, you already seen the composition you can see, and you've already been creative. So it's a little bit harder to do. Practically for me, what I do is that I bring different cameras or different lenses, so basically different focal lengths. It helps me to be more creative than the last time and also see things differently. So often I spend a lot of time in that same location that I've already been to, and that way I can really just slow down and observe my surroundings, be part of the scene. And sometimes it's okay not to take a single photo. The idea here is just to observe and also spark your creativity and master your street skills in terms of seeing things differently than you've seen them before. If you're thinking I don't have multiple camera bodies or different lenses that I can use or different focal lengths, what you can do is use your smartphone and the camera app. So often we have different focal lengths we can use on the camera app as well. So let's say you like to experiment with a telephoto lens, use that and stick with that for the entire photo session or for the entire day, and try to come up with different angles and perspective and compositions for the area that you've been to before. And I can promise you your photos will be a lot different than your previous one because the focal length here is different. And also what you can do is to experiment with layering techniques. So basically use foreground and background and add layers to your photos to make a photo more interesting. So the sky is the limit here, and just go out and try it. Add movement to your photographs. By adding movement to your photographs, you will introduce a slight mystery to your photographs. You will add more storytelling and also generate interest for the viewer. So basically there are multiple ways of introducing movement to your photographs. What I normally do is that I look for facial expressions that are out of the ordinary. I look for gestures that people are doing that can really make a photo interesting. And that way I can really compose a story around the photographs where people are intrigued by the photo. So you can add movement to your photographs in different ways. Another way you can add movement to your photos is by stopping down your shutter speed. So going lower, like 1/20th, 1/30th, or even lower, to add that kind of blurriness to your photos. And that really makes an interesting photos, especially if you're doing night street photography. But again, you can apply it to day street photography as well. Get closer than you normally would. So this is basically a personal preference and also something that started as a challenge for myself, that I wanted to get closer to my subjects because I wanted those candid, intimate photographs that are so different than my usual style where I'm standing at a distance using a longer focal length. So I wanted to really try out the more of a classic hunting technique where you hunt your subject. And I think I'm somewhere in the middle. So it's not a true hunting where I really are in people's faces because I really don't like that. But I'm in the middle where I am maybe a couple of meters from them and I'm snapping a photo. And I recently bought my Fuji X100V and it has a fixed focal length of 35mm. And this is a focal length that I normally never use. So for me, it has been a really great challenge to kind of elevate my skill level and elevate my confidence level also while taking photos, because the photos that I can produce and make by using that technique and those focal lengths is so different than my usual style that I kind of like it. And I'm going to keep doing it as long as I think it's fun and I can grow from it. Final thoughts to wrap up this video. So the only way you can master any skill set is to go out and practice. I hope you found some inspiration in these tips that I gave you. I learned some of them the hard way, so I hope that you can draw some inspiration from that. All right, take care. See you in the next one.